Hi, N.A.R.C troopers. It's already March, and I'm here at my lunch break. You know, life goes on, even when we're recovering from something horrible. Got a sandwich today. Chips, toast chips. So, life does go on for us, even though we're in recovery from something terrible. I'm assuming that if you're watching this channel, that you have either left or you have been discarded by a narcissist of some stripe or flavor, and you're struggling with it. For me, I'm approaching 9 months since my discard, and while some parts of it are better, other parts still are just as soul-crushing and horrible as they were at the beginning of it all. So today I want to talk about anger and how anger is just a necessary part of recovery, but it's also something that if you get stuck there and allow for it to take over, it's an all-consuming toxic poison for you, and that there is no satisfaction or closure to be had from acting on your anger. So I'll start by sharing something that happened to me last month in February. It was around Valentine's Day. I had gone with a former student of mine who had been in my dance class, because I was teaching dance before I moved to my current school. And we went to see the ballet. It was a great performance. It was sort of Valentine themed. All the dancers were wearing red and pink, and it was really great. But as I was sitting there watching it, about an hour and a half performance, I guess it was an hour and a half, I noticed that my mind was not on what was happening with the ballet. My mind had drifted to thinking about different revenge scenarios, different things that I could do to even the score and to make things right and to have justice for what had been promised and taken away, from justice for how I had been cruelly treated and blame shifted and made into the perpetrator when in fact I was the victim, and just like all of these different things. And as I was sitting there watching the ballet, pretty much for the whole hour and a half, instead of enjoying it for what it was, which was a beautiful thing, I was sitting there, my mind was just going on all of these little side trips about what I could do to him that would make things more fair and would put some karmic balance back in the universe or something. It's not my job to do that. And that is my message for today. I think that regardless of how angry we may feel after we have been treated in such a terrible way, I think the first thing is to know it's normal, and that it's a normal part of recovery. It's a stage that we have to go to and through, and the important part is we do have to pass through it. If we get stuck in the anger stage, it's going to impede our progress and our healing, so that we can't ever achieve full wellness following such a thing as this. The second thing I think we need to remember about anger is that we have to remember that these people are impaired through no fault of their own, and that they're human beings, that they have goodness in them. There's something about them that is human and that makes them equal to us in God's eyes, that we can't judge them and say this person's a demon and this person is a monster. And yeah, our anger certainly makes it where that makes a lot of sense, actually, to say that and to believe that. But in reality, they're human beings that are broken, they're flawed, they're mentally ill, they are incapable of being anything other than what they are, which is a dangerous, toxic thing, but they're still human, and God still loves them, and that there's sweetness in them. There's good things in them. There's pitiful, pathetic things about them. There's, you know, none of us are perfect. We all have something to deal with, and I'm not taking the side of the narcissist. Heaven knows, I sat there for an hour and a half during the ballet thinking of all kinds of things that would make me feel a lot better if those things happened to him. But at the end of the day, that's not our job. That's a job for a higher power, for some cosmic order, for some universal karmic debt or whatever. But it's not our job to exact revenge and to even the score and to do that, because we need to remember that these people are still people. They're still human. And even though they may not have much of a chance of being better or healing themselves or recovering from the things that have happened to them, this is the life that they're having, being what they are. The anger part, we need to get through it. Let it go and not get stuck thinking about how inhuman they are, and stop vilifying them all the time. Yeah, what happened was horrible. What they did to you, cruel, remorseless, morally corrupt and deficient, morally bankrupt, horrible. But they're still human beings, and they still have some kind of goodness or redeeming quality, I'm sure, and they're still complex, flawed, injured, wounded people they're still people. So I think I've tried to find different ways to frame that into words that make my point clear. But I think that that's something we need to think about. And finally, in regard to anger, I think it's toxic for us. If we give in to it and indulge it and grow it and fester in it and stew in it and marinate in our yucky feelings, it's not good for us. We need to think on healing and how to be better, how to do better, how to get healthy, and to not gravitate towards people who are going to suck the life right out of us, how we want to try to be around people who are healthy and who are not going to hurt us like that ever again. And you can't do that if you're filled with anger. You can't attract healthy people into your life and have the kind of healing that you deserve if you're filled with anger and vengeance and horrible ideas about the person who has abused you and mistreated you. So if you don't do it for them and you don't agree with the other things I said, at least know that, for you to be okay, you have to forgive them. You have to forgive them and move on. Stop thinking about them. Forgive them, and then just put it in the past. Let it go for what it is. It provided a lesson. At the end of this, you will be wiser and stronger and have more insight about all of these things. So let's focus on that and stop thinking about them and what you can do or should do or what they deserve or don't deserve, or, demonizing them. Forgiveness is a beautiful thing. If you can do that, it's going to save your soul, grow your soul, expand your soul. And you will be able to find peace and happiness that you won't be able to find otherwise. So let's think about that when we're feeling angry. Next time I go to the ballet, I'm going to try to enjoy it and not obsess over the person who broke me, because I want to be okay. I want to be healed. I want to get over this. And I can't do that if I'm hanging on to my anger and if I don't forgive him. Okay, that's my message for today. So I hope everybody's doing okay, and keep your chin up. We're going to make it to be okay. I believe that. We have to believe that. You have to have hope, right? As long as you're breathing, you have to have some hope. So keep on pushing through, soldiers, troopers. Keep on going. Okay, bye.